All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Motivation Monday. Yes, Motivation Mondays is back. I'm going to start trying to do at least a couple of these per month. Every other Monday or something, so we can get back on track. But by the way, those of you who asked about the essay contest, I'm reading an essay today by a guy named Dale from Florida, and this essay is, the essay contest, by the way, was an opportunity to meet me in Las Vegas in August. I have been traveling quite a bit, no excuses, but basically we've already selected the winner, but I'm going to go through every essay in a video pretty much this month and to the GP. And the winner will be announced, has already been chosen, and he'll be flown out. We'll probably do a video with the guy at the actual GP with the essay. So I think that would be fitting. And yeah, so let's get to Dale's essay. I like his title a lot. It's supposed to really motivate you. So let's hope you guys enjoy, and let's go from there. All right, so the title is No Mulligans in Life. I find that very interesting and very grabs me in. No mulligans in life. Magic the Gathering and I have quite the interesting relationship that has proven rather beneficial throughout the trials and tribulations of life. From the moment I saw a game of Magic played, I was hooked. I begged my father to take me to the nearest bookstore where packs of 4th edition cards were being sold. I was in the third grade at the time, so the concept of card stores and Friday Night Magic were a little over my head. After a few trips to the store and some trading with friends, I finally built a deck. Finally had a deck built. If I remember correctly, it revolved around one card, Sarah Angel. The deck was horrible, but the joy it brought to my life was insurmountable, and the payoff it would later bring, quite frankly, impossible to comprehend. Very nice intro. I would end up playing Magic for a couple of years until I moved on to collecting some type of Marvel cards instead. I did that same. That Chaos Orb, ? Traded for some crappy suspended animation X-Men mutant cards. The Beta Dual Lands? ? God knows that horrible trade I made for those. My Magic collection slowly faded as life moved on, but the experiences held while collecting, playing, and building decks never did. Fast forward to college graduate, Dale, me. I graduated college with a business degree and about $60,000 in student loans. $60,000. With no definite payoff route. I made a decision to commission as an officer in the United States Army. I always had a fascination with the Army. I had an awesome job while a guaranteed 3-year payoff plan for all my student loans. The Army ended up being a job I decided to turn into a career. It represented everything I stood for, and I loved every part of it. I also met my beautiful wife, and I'll leave her name out just on purpose, in the officer candidate school. This is an interesting story altogether. Maybe I'll tell you if I get a chance to meet you. As I climbed the ranks of Captain, El Capitan. Nice. Very good, Dale. My career was moving along successfully and quicker than expected, until one day when everything came to a screeching halt. Long story short, after a bad parachute landing from a training exercise, my C2 vertebrae managed to lodge itself into my spinal cord, resulting in complete paralysis. Jesus. As I lay on the ground, unable to move, my life as a normal human being flashed in my head. It felt like within 1 minute I relived my entire life as I knew it. Life would forever be different from here on out, or would it? Within roughly 5 minutes, which seemed like an eternity, I slowly regained feeling in my fingers and toes. That feeling spread up my legs, down my arms, and before I knew it, somehow I was moving again. As a side note, to this day, the doctors aren't sure why I didn't remain paralyzed. My life would have changed dramatically, but thankfully, it did not involve paralysis long term. After I sought medical attention, a neurologist recommended urgent surgery to remove the vertebrae from my spinal cord, conduct a C2 to C8 fusion to stabilize the neck. I could see the writing on the wall as a reconnaissance and surveillance officer. I knew the Army would not retain me after my surgery. My job demanded a rather physically capable soldier. The Army would not take on the liability of employing someone with a broken neck and almost a complete cervical fusion. Sure enough, I received a medical discharge. I remember my wife was a successful Army officer at the time, so since I was getting out, this meant we had to make a tough decision for her, either to get out as well or live the life separated from the Army, and would move around her that would move around her frequently, and I would be stable with a civilian job, hopefully. If she got out, she would be sacrificing everything for me. Well, she resigned her commission and got out. This is still an issue I struggle with today that she doesn't know about. She's an elementary school art teacher, very cool, and very happy, but I can't think of what type of career she would have had. Roughly a couple weeks after surgery, I remember a game store opening near our house at the time, and when I went in, I met by tons of magic cards. Immediately, I was brought back to my childhood playing. It was like a time walk was literally played in real life. I decided to get a few packs of Cons of Tarkir and what the new cards were all about. I didn't like the new artwork. I didn't like the artwork. Some of the mechanics had developed into other rather crazy abilities when compared to the Magic I knew. And the smell of the cards were different. Interesting. Another side note here, but I can still specifically remember the smell of opening booster packs of cards and starter decks as a kid. The one thing that did not change, though, was a great feeling when I was playing. When I was playing throughout recovery, I could momentarily escape what was going on in my life and transform into a third-grade Dale. The creativity and enjoyment remained strong after those years. I would get memories like convincing my friend to play for Auntie, that's cool, with his older brother's deck, and having his mom talk down to me. I gave the card Beta Mox Ruby back then. When I spent time organizing cards and binders and building decks again, I could escape back to my childhood. As we grow older, we lose our childhood tendencies like creativity, imagination, and innocence. With Magic, I could get those things back. I continue to play Magic since then and enjoy every moment of it. It's the only game that has come back to me in time after time, and thoroughly enjoyed myself. And this is a little weird, is the way it's set up, but I'm currently dealing with a nerve injury, and the font size, whatever he did here, was a little hard to read. I currently am dealing with nerve injury and residual damage from my neck. I almost completely lost the function of my right hand. Guess what? Although it's hard to shuffle, Magic is still proving to be a great way to escape the setback. I know I will continue with my residual issues from the accident, but I also know that besides my wife, I can count on Wizards of the Coast to be producing countless hours of fun. It is the most popular card game in the world for a reason, after all. Oh, and by the way, I want to say, this essay by Dale actually was one of the top 3 that I wanted to choose. It was very hard, and I'll go through that decision later on in other videos. But he wrote a note here that was very nice. He said, "Note to Daniel, if I end up winning, I like to request that the money be used to buy a plane ticket and hotel room in Orlando for the second place winner, or a charity of your choosing." Long story short, he inherited money, through a business from his father, and he wanted to give it back to the second place. I mean, that's just awesome, Dale. That is so awesome. And I had a chance to talk to Dale on the phone before, so if you're out there watching this video today, thank you again for writing the essay. I want to show this picture of his surgery. See if I can. Look at this. Look at that, guys. Wow. That is another injury that he had there. And I'll see if I can go to another picture. Here's that. Oops. Wow, man. Yeah, you went through a lot there, buddy. Let's see what else we got. That's about it. Oops. All right. Well, let's get this set up. Sorry about that. Let me do my closing thoughts. Apologize, guys. All right. So, what do you guys think about Dale's story? I thought the story was excellent. A very motivational tale about how magic brought back memories and innocence and life. I gotta say, it kind of reminds me a lot about myself, in the sense that, you know, I collect those stupid Marvel cards. I did Magic in '94. Didn't collect it as heavily as some of the other guys did and play, but I realized that whatever you do in life, you know, to kind of sum this all up, I look at Dale's story, I'm like, you know, I really feel like if you take the positive of something so catastrophic, I mean, I can't even imagine. I've never had major surgery. I've never had any kind of loss, you know, hurt my body. And if that actually happened to me or something, I can't even imagine what he went through. And for him to actually overcome that and have the will inside to kind of have positivity and take like a great negative, you know, into something positive that he can share and really help others, is incredible. And Dale, I also share a struggle with you as far as, like, my wife, you know, was working, and one of the hardest things is having a situation where, hey, you know, she wants to possibly not work and she wants to work, but, you know, as a husband, you don't want to be a burden on her and force her to do something that she doesn't want to do. So I think what you're doing is right. I think you've been very supportive, and just keep loving her and being supportive. And you look, she might change and have other opportunities, other hobbies that she might come out of to help other people and to do something that she wants. And that change does produce good in many different ways. So I think for those of you who are watching this video, getting some inspiration out of this, maybe today, think about something that relates to this video. Maybe you can look at something that has changed your life. May have been very bad, may have been very toxic, but you overcame it and you were able to look at your life now. Hopefully your life now is much more positive. And maybe if magic was something that gave you additional inspiration to move forward or relive memories, or it doesn't matter what it is, like maybe it ignited a spark of creativity, I like that, or innovation that made you change your career or just your behavior. I gotta say that magic does that to people. It's a game that has brought my friends, I mean, most of my good friends pretty much are all from Magic. And I've met thousands and thousands of players and collectors, artists all over the world. And there's been so much positivity. Obviously, there's some bad middle school, little, you know, emotional, tirade people, but weed those people out. Those people are just people on the middle school playground, just trying to bring you down, anchor you down and sink. But you don't need to do that. You don't care about them. Focus on yourself, focus on your family, focus on the real friends, and develop things that can really grow your career, grow your life, whatever it is. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the Motivation Monday. Dale, thanks again for all your efforts. If you do go to Vegas, Dale, we will be having a dinner for any of the patrons that submitted the essays. It's on me. So that's at least a consolation prize. But I hope to see you soon. All right, guys, take care. And we'll talk soon.